Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, PrincetonTrader.com, here with your Wednesday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, here's a 30-minute chart, same chart that I showed you yesterday, basically. We saw lower highs forming from the latest all-time high at 2177.75. We laid out two main tasks for the bears yesterday. They needed to seal weekly pivot resistance. We had this break below weekly pivot off of the Europe Open. They had to seal it as resistance and then break the 2152, 2153 floor, these two red lines. They moved up to test 64 versus the 6460 weekly pivot off the open, and they never looked back. They pushed down hard, they broke the floor, and traded as low as 41.5. They traded back right around the floor of 52.53. The other thing you have to know is we talked about a 50 to 53 area yesterday, the area of the daily middle band all the way up to the top of that floor. So on a daily chart, it was going to be really important for any break of the range that challenged 50 to 53. You see the green line ascending here. This is the middle band. Yesterday it was at about 50, 49 and change, and then you have the 52, 53 floor. The bulls spent yesterday really fighting back against this. And you figure, the dip buyers are going to, it's going to take a whole lot of days like yesterday in order to discourage the dip buyers from coming in and grabbing anything that looks like a dip. And that's what they did. And they closed yesterday. Yesterday's close was right at 21.53. So above the daily midband and on the floor, okay? So as to cause maximum confusion, right? Markets love to do that. What's been interesting about the overnight trade is you've now got the mid-band at about 52.5. It's right in the middle of this floor area. And what the bears are trying to do here is to go ahead and try to hold the floor. And they need to. Just like they held weekly pivot yesterday, weekly pivot was never threatened. They'd like to have an open very similar to what they had today, a push down. This 41.5 low needs to get taken out. The 41.5 low survives the day, then that's going to embolden the dip buyers even more. So you've got a 52-53 floor that needs to be held, pushed down, and a low that needs to be taken out. Instead of the bulls creating higher highs every day, the bears need to start creating lower lows every day. And what will happen on longer term time frames is you will get a conversion of the daily midband to resistance. And once that daily midband converts to resistance, then you can start to look at a lot of this air that exists down below that reaches as far down as the lower Bollinger Band on a daily chart. And what I'm talking about is here. If you convert the green line, you've got air pretty much down to the lower band at 21.15. So the bands are still tightening. It was at 4.26 yesterday. It looks like it's right around the same today. But the key is going to be when the hard break comes and the bands begin to expand out, who's going to win this battle? Sitting deadpan on the mid band. Typically, when you see these pushes lower, you see a head fake or a push higher. You get tight bands, you get head fakes. Was 2177.75 a head fake up? I don't know. If we do a hard break and conversion to the mid band, then we'll know. What you have to do is the same thing that I have to do. We have to trade what's in front of us and use risk and control our size and be smart. What this is telling us for the open today is we need to identify what are 52 to 53's intentions, and if we push lower, Are we going to get matching lows? Are we going to get a break? If they can't hold 52.53 off the open, then this is going to be viewed as a higher low versus 41.5, and I think you see a reach back up to 64, where the bears will have opportunity to try to seal 64 as resistance again. Okay, but ideally the bears just want to go straight down. I mean, of course they do, but very, very rarely, for anybody that's watched the markets at all, is it ever that simple for the bears. All right. Everybody have a fantastic day. Follow us at Twitter at Princeton Trader. Come check out the website, princetontrader.com. Come check out the chat room. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another webcast. Trade 'em well, everybody.